Have you guys ever had the feeling of being caught in a rut, being bored, being tiresome, and feeling that your life is not worth living, feeling that you're not doing more productive work with yourself? Now, I went through the similar situations when I was traveling to Jordan. Before traveling to Jordan, I was actually in this sort of circumstances, in this scenario where I was not completely satisfied with myself. I was not completely happy with where I was and what I was doing with my life. I always find myself wondering, why is it that in this time we have all the options in the world? We have Netflix, we have TikTok, we have Instagram, we have all kinds of these apps that can help clear this boredom, yet we are more bored than ever. Yet we feel more unfulfilled. We feel like we don't have anything to give back to this world, that our creative flair is absolutely dead. I look back at my time in Jordan, especially in day 2 and 3, were really productive for me, because I never felt more alone in my life. I never felt more on my own in my life.
Not a man in sight. All alone in this canyon. So happy. Genuinely. Because the views are out of this world, and there's no one to disturb me. Not people taking pictures, no shouting, nothing whatsoever. And you really dig deep into how amazingly beautiful this place really is. There's nothing like it. Honestly, I've never seen anything like it. I've been to Israel, of course. They do have some nice canyons, but wow, this is just something from another world, really. Also, because it's completely quiet, I get to listen to my books. Not that I don't like interacting with people, but meaningless conversations don't do me so well. So I think I really enjoy it, and I'm going to carry on with it.
I was completely unplugged from technology. And by being unplugged from technology, I was able to recuperate myself, and I was able to rejuvenate myself just by listening to books like Man's Search for Meanings, which was a completely life-changing book for me, and how much it has influenced me, I can't even begin to put it into words. In the book, Viktor Frankl talks about how his life was full of despair, and while he was in Auschwitz, and what it did to him, and how it changed his perspectives on life, and how it made him more aware of his reality. In that difficult time of being in complete and utter despair, he was able to find true meaning to life. He was able to find who he truly was in those circumstances. I remember one of the quotes that he says in the book: "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." And that's exactly the point of this video, and that's exactly the point that we are here today in these circumstances, because these circumstances, we can't physically change them ourselves. The reason we are sitting inside the house, the reason we're doing what we're doing, is not because of our own doings. At the same time, we have to recognize, how can we become more productive in this time period? How can we do better work that is more fulfilling? Here are the 3 ways that I have devised that has helped me overcome this feeling of loneliness. And I will especially like to say thanks to Captain Sinbad. I'll link his video down in the description, that actually helped me realize this in a much more structural way. Step 1 that I always implement in my life is I have structured my day to the T. The moment I wake up, I go for a jog, and I kind of recuperate and regenerate my energy. I also try and meditate as well, 5 minutes after I wake up. And after that, I come back, I take a shower, and I start working on on the videos, on the content, on Instagram. I stick to that. So having a very structured timeline allows you to kind of pretend that you're really on a mission to do something, and you have to pretend that way in order for you to really do some meaningful work, that you have a mission, you have a goal that you need to achieve. So having a goal allows you to structure that day really well, and make that goal so amazing, okay, and so unthinkable that you have to do strenuous work in order to get there. And that is my second point. That is the second thing that I do. I always pick really, really difficult tasks. I mean, in the book Eat That Frog, Brian Tracy actually talks about doing the hardest task of the day before any other task. So I always start with the hardest task of the day, and once you're fully immersed in that task, when you're in that flow state, then you can easily unplug yourself and really enjoy the leisure time, really enjoy the Netflix or Instagrams or whatever you want to binge watch. You can really enjoy that because you know that you have done the hard work. Your brain is actually tired after that hard work. Therefore, you're allowed to enjoy whatever kind of TV show that you want to enjoy. Otherwise, it all feels meaningless and it all feels very empty. The things that I did in Jordan that really helped me was after climbing the mountain, which was a much harder task that I'd ever imagined it could ever be, and then coming down and then injuring myself, even with a guide, I was able to enjoy all of the process. I was enjoy all of the strenuous work. So just getting back by doing the climb, I can't even show you where I was, right somewhere there. I climbed with these guys, so always follow a trail. What I realized today definitely is that you definitely need a guide. If you have a guide in life, in fact, you need a guide. You need somebody who can show you the way, because if you don't know the way, you're kind of shooting in the dark, aren't you? And I realized that today, because had I gone another way, and I did try and do that, I almost killed myself. I almost died. I don't want to, obviously, I'm not even exaggerating, honestly, because I've injured myself as well while doing that. So I've learned a few lessons. Always need a guide, and life is hard. Going up seems harder, but you'll do it. Coming back down seems easier, and it normally is easier, isn't it? But it's more dangerous because you can slip and you can injure yourself. And the journey, it's all about the journey. It's not about the destination. Maybe it is a little about the destination, but it's definitely about the journey. And you want it to be as fun as possible. After a hard period of activity, I was able to enjoy the food and the sunset, which was an unbelievable experience in my view. And it was definitely a worthy end to the day. I understand that not every single day is going to be amazing. You're not going to wake up wanting to do all these things, and I completely understand that. There's a concept that Joe Dispenza and Tony Robbins talk about all the time, about changing your state. So you can wake up in the morning and be very groggy and be very annoyed with yourself, or not wanting to do many things in life, and I understand that. But at the same time, you can change your state of mind just by doing something absolutely crazy, like dancing to music, like just exercising or shouting really, really loudly. So sometimes I don't feel like making these videos, but at the same time, I feel that it's extremely important for me to make them for my own self, so I can look back what I was before, and so that you can see me. So even when I'm not in a state of making videos, I try and make sure that I'm in that state just by jumping around and doing crazy things. And I did that in Jordan too. There were loads of times where I didn't want to read the book. I didn't want to read Viktor Frankl. I didn't want to read Utopia for Realists. I didn't want to read any of these books. But I wasn't propelled. So I just put on some music and I just started jamming to the music over and over again. And it really changed my state and really put me in a happy mood and allowed me to carry on my work in a much more productive way. So this is a very easy way to change your state, by being as physical as possible with yourself. And I'll leave you with this quote: suffering ceases to be suffering the moment it finds meaning. I repeat, suffering ceases to be suffering the moment it finds a meaning. Thank you very much for listening. My name is Ahmed and I'm an entrepreneur and an educator. I make these videos pretty much on a weekly basis. I do lives pretty much every single day on YouTube. So please subscribe to this channel and like the video and share the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much for listening. Take care.